I order lots of old music releases when I'm working on episodes of the Cassette Culture podcast, partly as references to use in the episodes themselves, but partly just to sort of like get into the zone and get those physical objects that I'm talking about and we're hearing about from the artists in the episode. So these two, I have to admit, have been sitting around for a little while, and I've got a good idea, I think, of what they are, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just going to open them, and this time I've never really had any feedback either way, but this time, instead of sort of talking around it as I open them just to fill up the empty space, I'm just going to keep quiet and let me know, what do you think? Is it better to have the sound of the package opening, or do you like me to waffle away as I do it? So let's get started. Okay, so this first cassette, Flowmotion, it's released on Integrated Circuit ICR 003. It's a compilation cassette that we talked about in the episode that we've just done with Colin Potter, and he did this in collaboration with Flowmotion Fanzine, who were publishing in the very early 80s, covering electronic music with a sort of European influence, that kind of synth, rhythmic sort of synth or textural synth kind of music. One cover, one colour, just printed and folded quite simply here. And then the cassette with a same sort of simple, possibly photocopied on blue. This is a great compilation of the times. It starts off with a track from Chris and Cosey, followed by, it's got Eyeless In Gaza. I used to be a big fan of Eyeless In Gaza from their appearance on a Cherry Red compilation in the mid-80s, but here they are still doing their thing earlier in the decade. There's David Jackman, Carl Matthews. He's a bit of a discovery for me, and features musically in the episode we did with Colin Potter due to his appearance on Integrated Circuit Records releases. So this is a great compilation. I'd love to play a little bit of this later on. An album of contemporary and electronic music, kind of like the UK cassette underground, embracing the European roots of synth music in that early 80s period. Let me once again keep quiet while we get into this package. Okay, this is definitely reissued copy on integrated circuit of Colin Potter's LP Here, and he actually told the story in the podcast about how this came about in 2014 and I think 2015 as well. There was Cassette Store Week, which was equivalent to Record Store Day, and just features cassettes. And then Colin was kind of encouraged to reissue some of his old stuff, which he did in like a little set. So I've managed to get hold of this one, 81 as the catalogue number, unless it's my eyesight. Yeah, 81, sure, there it is. So this is like a solo rhythmic synth music reissued in 2014 for Cassette Store Day. And definitely some of this music also features in the podcast episode that we did with Colin Potter and Integrated Circuit Records. And yeah, so the Flowmotion tape, I just discarded this when I opened the package, but it comes from Die Stard, which is a German mail order and label, I believe. So they've enclosed a really great little catalogue of stuff that they have available, which has lots of artists from the same period in it. I'm just going to give this Colin Potter cassette a little bit of a spin.